This is ABC Radio Melbourne and Victoria with Matt Preston and Catherine Murphy.
What about that? You behaved yourself relatively well. Not great, Matt. Didn't love all your comments. We'll do a big show debrief after and we'll go through it all.
It's been a standard joke with Mick, that ninth place. I believe that the first time I met Mick, that he was in that period, Richmond period, of them almost getting there. And that was, you know, with a comedian, it's always good to give them a little bit of pain. It inspires their comedy, as we heard from Mick Molloy just then.
It does inspire their comedy. Well, you'll have inspired him a lot. Now it is time to talk to great friend of the show, Tom McDonald. We're going to just breeze over this first topic, Tom. Your match on Thursday night, it was such a strange match. I think it's fair to say. Have you recovered from it?
Hey, Catherine. Yes, slowly. Always a bit tired after the night games, but I don't know. Yeah, a bit disappointing in the end to fall short, but a lot of good things as well.
A lot of good things and a great match to watch. What a stunning comeback in that last quarter. You mentioned the night games that you're a bit tired after. Tom, when do you actually get to go to sleep? Because I've heard a lot of friends I have that play football say sometimes they can't get to sleep till 4 a.m. because they're just so hyped from it all. How do you go after a match like that?
Yeah, I used to be like that. So I'm not as bad anymore. I used to be the Red Bull before the game and a coffee on the way, and that was probably the biggest issue. But now, I have a coffee when I leave the house at about 4 o'clock, and hopefully most of that's worn off by the time we get to bed. It's probably about 2 a.m. for me getting to sleep after a night game.
Now, Tom McDonald, we can hear the joyous sound in the background of your kids. I'm assuming that's Bella and Leah in the background. I understand you've gone early and given your partner a nice gift for Mother's Day, and you're looking after the kids today.
No, she's working. She's going to try and find a house for a client. So I'm the kids we've just had Auskick and we're at the playground now. So busy morning. Yeah, Saturday mornings is very much changed for me now.
How much are the kids enjoying their Auskick?
Loves it. Bella's really into it. She's done soccer and that was a little bit slow to get going, but now she's into it. And the Auskick's awesome. It's so funny. It literally hasn't changed in 25 years. It's the exact same thing. The parents and the mums and dads helping out and the same sort of drills and then go and get a sausage and bread afterwards. So, or a hot dog as my kids like to call it for some reason. Don't know why we're American in our house, but it's a hot dog after training.
Gee, I'm blaming cartoons. I believe that's the standard thing to do on the ABC. Blame the cartoons or the video games or possibly social media. I understand that your 1967 black Ford Mustang is really your pride and joy. We always thought it was that barbecue you built, the magnificent Star Trek desk for grilling meat that you built, but it's actually the vintage Mustang. Is that true?
Yeah, that was my first child. I bought that off a guy who'd imported it maybe 15, 16 years ago, and he had kids at that stage, and luckily I bought it off him before I had kids, and he was just never going to get around to fixing it. It was a complete wreck, and he'd imported it from over in California and got to work with my cousin, who's a big car guy, Dees McDonald, down in Geelong, and I'd go down every Sunday, work in his garage, and we did a lot of the mechanical stuff ourselves. And then he had a good friend who was a panel beater who did all the body and painting at the end, and here we are. So, but yeah, great passion of mine, cars. I've really gotten into cars, and that was what sort of got me into it 6 years ago. How
often do you drive it, Tom?
At the moment, I drive it to games, the MCG.
Oh, wow.
And that's about it. Maybe once a week, yeah. I put it on the Heritage Club plates, so you can only drive it. You can only drive it 90 days a year. So you got a logbook when you get in the car, and that helps you out with insurance, and your registration isn't as much. So that's what a lot of guys do with the classic cars, and that's how they own the old cars.
I love that you use it on match days, that your 90-day allocation, it's prioritised for match days. Why is that, Tom? Do you just like the feeling of driving in one of your favourite possessions, something that's a passion of yours, to your job?
There's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of, there's no rush on game day. You're always leaving really early. It's sort of a bit of a treat. It's fun to get in, but it's not the sort of car you want to drive every day. I think you take for granted how nice it is to have aircon and comfy seats and good quality radio and all that sort of stuff. So it's more of a special occasion sort of car and once a week. Or maybe if I was going to lunch with Ruby, we whip it out, but that's about it.
Now, let's talk Tom McDonald about that lack of aircon. I was watching Isaac Smith talk about the car last week, and he says that the only aircon you've got is 2x60, both windows wound down and the wind coming in at 60 k's an hour. Is that true?
That's true. Yep. I went down and saw Isaac. Yeah, his wife and my wife are good friends. They had their babies our first children on the same day at the hospital. So stayed in touch, and we were heading down that way in the off season, and unfortunately picked a very hot day to do it.
It's okay. You can lean out, tongue out at the window. It's fine, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, look, I can deal with it. Ruby's not such a big fan.
Right.
Fair enough.
Leather seats or plastic?
They're kind of like a fake leather, I think. They're like a replica leather, because the original ones were so ruined that this was all I could really get to make it look original. They're like a reproduction original.
Nice.
I love the idea of you driving to the footy in that car. When you got back in your car on Thursday night, Tom, to come so close, and we made an admission, we're talking about watching the football on Thursday. Don't take this the wrong way, Tom, but maybe after the first quarter I put on my pyjamas and started to wind down for the evening. And I'm really sorry to admit that. But, you think, this is inconceivable that they could come back from this. And you were so close. What was the vibe with the team afterwards?
Look, we were really, really disappointed with the first quarter, as you probably were as well. But a lot of it was just contests. We were losing contests in front of the ball, and then as defenders, we were getting beaten in contests as well. And that was pretty much the whole game in the first quarter. And they really hurt us with it and kicked straight, so that made it difficult. From there, the vibe afterward wasn't terrible. It was just what a wasted opportunity. Even if we just kept them to 2 or 3 goals in the first quarter, then all of a sudden we could have got the win. So there's a lot of confidence that knowing that even in the wet we can come back from 6 goals down. But just disappointing. Just a missed opportunity. Got a longer break now, so we've got a few days off, and we're going to head to Perth next week. So, got a chance to have a couple of days off the players after a 5-day break and get a little bit of rest before training on Monday.
Harry Mackay on fire this year, totally different player. You limited him to 1 goal. How does that, when you have a performance like that, Tom McDonald, how does that compare to the pain of losing the game? Do you sit there and go, it was good, but it wasn't anything?
No, look, I sort of looked at my game, and I think I had some good moments. And he's a monster. Like, he's just an outstanding athlete, huge man. He's about 6'8", 6'9", and he's way faster than me. So I knew I was in a bit of strife going into the game, and I was glad that it was raining at the start, because that always makes it a bit harder as a key forward. But I just try and go into the game and compete. He got me a few times. I gave away a couple of free kicks, and I just thought we had a good battle. We'll review our game as the key defenders. Me, Jake and Steve will always sit down on Monday with our line coach and go through our games. And we've all probably got similar things. Jake will have a couple of contests he wanted to have back, and Steve also, and I will as well. But then we'll look at what we did well, and we'll talk it through with the coach. So, look, I wouldn't say I'm wrapped with my performance, but I thought I still competed strongly, and there's a bit there to work with for next week.
Now, Tom, I need you to put your future coaching hat on. My middle boy's just been promoted to the first. He plays at fullback. He's undoubtedly going to get a big, ugly ex-VFL forward to play on. What would be your advice to him?
So he's playing fullback. Does he get to take kick-ins or not?
Yeah, he'll get to play. He will be doing that, or they may get one of the other players to do that. Is he the new boy? We'll see.
Look, my advice would be is, when you're a forward, you hate defenders who are physical on you, that push you every time you go to take off, or when they go to run back towards goal, you just, an elbow in the chest, making it difficult. So I think that's how you can sort of wear down forwards, is just making life difficult. So that's my advice. And then when he gets the ball, take simple options. I think when I started my career as a defender, I like to try and bust it off in the middle of the ground, and made a few mistakes. But when you take the easy options, it tends to look a lot better at the end of the game.
Great advice.
Great advice, Tom. Can I just say before we let you go, because you're clearly busy, and not fully supervising at a playground is never advisable, even if you're chatting to us. I love how your team talks after matches, the way you just talked about your own performance, but also Christian Petrarca. He did an interview after, Tom, that I was kind of like, were we watching the same game? Where after his 5 goals, around 21 disposals, I think 2 goal assists, so essentially 7 goals that he's made, he said, because I'm not playing well, I had to go up front. And I was like, whoa, Christian, he was amazing. Is that a deliberate way that you guys look at yourselves? It's so self-analytical.
Oh, look, I think everyone's a bit different. Whenever I try to talk to the media, I try to be as open and as honest as I can I probably give away a bit too much sometimes, but I just try to, I try to have a chat with you guys. Like, you guys want to learn a little bit, and I'm trying to make it semi-interesting. So, and I think Christian's the same. Like, Christian's done a lot of media work. Obviously, being the player he is, he gets a lot of opportunities, and I think there's part of him that just, he tells the truth. He probably hasn't played. He's at the very 100% sort of level that he's capable of until this week, for maybe the last couple of weeks. But he was just outstanding on the weekend, and I think there's part of him just wanting to, share the love around to other players who help him out and help him to be the player he is. But Christian's just a great guy to talk to. Like, if you ever chat to him on or off air, he's super interesting and happy to share about his journey. So I think there's just a part of that of him just being himself.
Never changed, Tom, and I hope he never changes either, because as a football fan, when you're watching a game, when players let you in, that's the part you really remember about watching a match. So good on you.
I think that's changed massively in the last couple of years with Christian, with his social media. There's a lot of guys who do podcasts, and they're happy to share their life now. And so I love listening to a player when they talk about their interest outside of footy. There'll be a lot of people here who don't care about Mustangs, but there might be one or two that do. So.
There are a few of us, Tom McDonald, that care about what you're posting on your Instagram feed. And I notice it's been 7 weeks since we had a bit of grilling going up there. What's going on? Are you still using that barbecue?
I have been doing a bit. I'm actually going to a barbecue this afternoon. I got a big green egg though recently as a gift from a close friend, and that thing is incredible. Have you ever cooked one of them?
Yeah, they're amazing. I remember going to Noma in Copenhagen, and in the middle of the winter snow, there were 5 green eggs, and the poor young chefs were cooking outside on these green eggs, but the results were phenomenal.
Oh, it's incredible. Pizza on them is amazing. It works better than any pizza oven I've ever used. So, that's good fun. I'm really enjoying the egg. I just probably haven't posted as much. Probably trying to get the food in and out into the kids' mouth as quick as I can. But I'll try and get some more content up.
If you ever need more content, don't hesitate to send us a pizza, and Matt can do a taste test. Now, I'll get a few slices as well on the side. That's the little benefit for me. But we're happy to do that for you, Tom, anytime. Pizza tasting.
Easy. That's easy to do.
Don't listen to her, Tom. She's only in this job for the free food.
I'm only
terrible.
Here. Tom McDonald, thanks for taking time out of your Saturday to talk to us. We will have you on again soon if you're free. And well done. Good luck with Mother's Day tomorrow. You're putting in a big effort already.
No, thank you. Thanks, guys. Have a great day, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you so much to Tom.
Hey, got you, Leo. Yeah.
Oh, we've never had such a big cheer at the end of one of our interviews. Thank you so much to Tom, and also to his kids, for putting up with us, taking their dad away. Bella and Leo, hello to you. Well, now it's time.
Want to see more from the Dees? And don't forget to subscribe up here.